everyone, Julie with Mint Personal Chef. I'm going to be showing you how to make stuffed shells with ricotta and spinach, and they're going to be cheesy and baked. I'm super excited for this one because I love a good pasta. So I'm just using these shells, and come over here to my stove. I'm going to show you how to make it. Large shells can be a little bit hard to find in the grocery store, so you can find them online. I actually found these ones at Whole Foods. Anyways, first off we want to start by boiling our pot of water. So I got it all ready over here. So I'm going to start heating that up to make sure the water comes up to temp. And then I'm going to make a little Parmesan cream sauce to go over the shells. So we're going to stuff the shells with the filling of ricotta and spinach and whatnot. And then we're going to pour the Parmesan cream over the top, add more cheese, and then we're going to bake it in the oven so it's like nice and bubbly. You can get the oven preheating too if you want. So got my shells ready right next to the water. So for the Parmesan cream, normally I would use heavy cream, but I don't have any, so I'm just going to be using milk, and I'm going to do like about 50% milk, 50% Parmesan, something like that. So first off, I'm going to heat it up, and after we start heating it up, I'm going to add in the Parmesan. I'm just going to whisk it in, so I have that ready to go, and it's as simple as that. It's just the two ingredients. While we're waiting for the pasta water to heat up, I'm going to just go ahead and already start making the filling so that we can boom, 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 get it all done at once. Alright, so in this pan here, I'm going to just add some olive oil, because you always got to have that olive oil. And then, now, I already have these prepped, but at this time you could start chopping up shallot or onion, and then also some garlic. So, I mean, if you don't like these, you don't have to use them, but it's definitely going to be way more flavorful if you add a little shallot and garlic, my favorites. Okay, so in go my shallots. And then we need to add some salt and pepper to these, because you always got to make sure it's seasoned. And the shallots are actually pretty finely minced, so I'm just going to add in the garlic at the same time. If your onion was cooked a little bit bigger, you could let it cook for a minute before adding the garlic, just so it gets translucent like that. And this is like when the house starts to smell up and smell good. That's when like people perk up and like, who's cooking? It's me, Julie. Alright guys, so now the milk is heating up, so I'm just going to whisk in the Parmesan. And Parmesan tends to be salty, so I'm not going to really add any salt to this, but I'll probably add a pinch of pepper. We could add in a little butter to this too, if we want, but the key is to like stir it so that the Parmesan incorporates with the milk and it thickens it. While you're multitasking here, don't forget to keep an eye on your shallots and garlic, because we don't want those to burn. Alright, here's a little bonus for you. If you like lemon as much as I do, you could add a little squeeze in there. If not, no worries, but I'm just going to add a little tad. And the acid is actually going to stop the browning too, so just a little squeeze of lemon is always nice. Kind of brightens up the flavor. But if you're not a huge fan of that sourness, you could always skip that too. But anyways, when they look about like this, now we're just going to add in the spinach and saute it like very lightly, just so it cooks down a little bit. So get your spinach in there, and then we're going to add more salt and pepper. And don't forget to whisk your Parmesan cream sauce too. And we're just going to let that cook a little bit until it thickens. A little salt, a little pepper, more pepper, okay. Now, because spinach is so bulky, when it cooks down a little bit, now we're just going to add some more spinach. Add a little more. Just put slightly. Oh my god, looks bomb. Okay, so our spinach now is cooked. It's not overcooked though, it's just you know, wilted. And then now we're gonna add in the ricotta cheese. So this is our filling. And the ricotta is cold, so that's perfect because we don't want this to be too hot because we're gonna have to stuff our shells. So, look at that deliciousness. And then just give this a good mix here. Yum. You can see that the shallots and the garlic with that little splash of lemon and the spinach can be so flavorful. And we were seasoning throughout, but you could give this a taste and adjust the salt and pepper again if you need. Alright, perfect. This looks really good. Now we're just gonna set this aside until our pasta and our cream sauce are ready, and then we'll fill the shells. Look at that. While we're waiting for the pasta to cook, I'm going to butter the dishes up. So take a little butter. You could use oil too, and I'm just gonna butter it a little bit. Hopefully that makes it a little bit easier to kind of get out, but I mean, you know, who doesn't love some butter? Water's boiling now, so throwing in the shells. So I recommend setting a timer for your pasta, but if you're like me, I never set timers. So there's another way that you can test the pasta to make sure that it's done. It's a little tricky because it's super hot, but if you take a spoon like this, I'm just gonna grab one of the shells out here. You can easily grab it, and I have a cutting board over here. I'm just gonna set it down, and I'm just gonna cut a little tiny bit off like that so I can give it a taste. And it's still a little bit al dente. It has a little bit of a bite to it, so it's kind of what you prefer. Remember, we're gonna be baking it, so it'll cook a little bit more in the oven, especially with that sauce over it. So I'm gonna take it out already. If you like it, if you don't like it al dente, if you like it a little bit more well done, just give it a couple more minutes. All right. So you can see, you can kind of see by the way it looks too. You can see, let's get that off the heat. And I'm gonna bring it over, pour out like just a little bit at a time. Once there's like a lot of steam, give it a break because steam burns. Ugh, those are not fun if you've had them before. Woo. Now, because we need these cool enough to handle to put the filling in it, I'm gonna flush it with some cold water right away. So just throw some cold water on it like this to stop the cooking. All right, so give that a little shake here. Okay, now here's the fun part. We're gonna fill them. So I just set up a little station. I like to set it up in the order that we're gonna place it. So first we got a little shell, and then we got our filling. And you can just kind of fill it as so. And then we're gonna throw it right in there. Alright, I got the Parmesan cream sauce that I made. The shells are all stuffed, so I'm just gonna pour some like right over the top. And then we're gonna add even more cheese. We're gonna add a little mozzarella on top of that. Yum. And then we're gonna throw it in the oven. And don't be shy. This dish is all about the cheesy cheese. Yeah, and this is gonna be awesome because we can eat one for dinner and have the others for the meal prep, unless you're sharing, which I don't recommend. And so now I'm just gonna pop it in the oven until it gets nice and golden on top, and then it'll be ready to enjoy or cool down if you're just meal prepping it. Now I'm gonna throw these babies in the oven. So. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I release a new cooking video each week. Thanks for watching.